Welcome to the Punchline Podcast, where faith meets real life. We talk purpose, pivots, and power moves. So pull up. You might just learn something. So, starting a business almost broke me, but giving up on myself would have surely finished the job. Hi, my name is Punchetta Sasha Wu, and I'm the host of the Punchline Podcast. And in past episodes, we talk about the perils and pitfalls of entrepreneurship, the burnout, and the breakdowns, and all of the bad decisions that sometimes we make because you don't know what you don't know when you start a business. But this year, we'll talk about a little bit of that as well. But we're going to talk about a little bit more things that impact business, such as purpose and the pivot, which is what I'm currently experiencing, and then also power plays that we often need to make to improve or to grow in business, personally and professionally. So if these things resonate with you, then you need to subscribe to the Punchline Podcast or wherever you listen to your podcast so that you won't miss an episode. We'll have other interviews or new interviews with people who have experienced these exact same things and how we can learn and grow from each other so that we don't make the mistakes that we often make when we're starting a business. So stick around, listen to the Punchline Podcast, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, TikTok, or wherever you just like to be and hang out. You'll probably see us there as well. So stick around. Hey, welcome to 2026, y'all. If you made it this far, pinch yourself because you made it out of 2025. I don't know about y'all, but 2025 was a rough year for me. I experienced a lot. I lost my brother last year unexpectedly. That was hard. That was hurtful. However, I survived without questioning God, kept it moving, and now I'm in 2026 by the grace of God. And I just want to say that if you experienced some things last year that knocked you off of your feet and you had to regroup and start again, don't feel bad. Just understand that though that's all a part of the ebbs and flow of life, and now is your reset. Now is time. Now is the time after you have processed your losses, and that could be the death of anything: a friendship, a relationship, a family member, um, a career, whatever the case may be. Now's the time to start over and do something different. Now's the time for you to reset, um, start your soft launch of your new life, your new normal, whatever that may be, and to realize that that's all a part of life. I had to really look at myself and realize while I was feeling sorry for myself and while I was in it for a minute and down, once I finally picked myself up, I had to come back and say, hey, pick yourself up. You're still amongst the living. You still have some life to live and to give. So you got to get back in that game and you got to do what you got to do. And that's basically what I had to tell myself. So I want you to pause right there, right here. Put a pin where you are. It's Black History Month. It is the second month of 2026, February. And we need to recognize what that means for us. And we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about everything that the start of this new month means for us, for our lives, for our families, and for our new beginning. We're not talking about New Year's resolutions. We're not talking about what other word is there? We're not talking about basically, we're not talking about a New Year's resolution because sometimes we make those and we never stick to that. We're not talking about that. What we're talking about is a reset, a reset. And that's what we're going to be talking about for the rest of this year, resets. When I started thinking about what I wanted to cover this year on the podcast, I thought about purpose. Purpose had a lot to do with the changes that I wanted to make this year. And I didn't want to do anything that did not align with my purpose. So I started to think that I was going to be intentional about the things that I talked about this year. No more New Year, New Me talk. I want to be clear. You don't have to reinvent anything about your life. All you have to do is just recommit. Recommit to the things that you know that are important, that are going to get you closer to your purpose in life. And that is the goal. Recommit to whatever it is that you started out knowing that whatever your intentions were that you started before. Maybe it was in 25, like me. I had some plans and intentions, and you know what they say: start making plans and watch God laugh. And last year was one of those situations where I was making plans, and God said, "Huh, I got a surprise for you, sweetie." And those plans were just totally changed. So let me just say, last year taught me who I really was once again. It happened before when my mom died in 2019 and I had to regroup. I had to start over and I had to make some changes. And then it happened again last year when my baby brother died. And then I had to regroup and make some changes and look around and think, where am I? Because where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. And then when something traumatic happens, wherever you are in that place of your journey is where you have to start to rebuild. And so, or recommit. And that's the word, recommit, that we're using today. So let's start there. And let me just say, this is a growth exercise. And growth is sometimes uncomfortable. Growth is not loud. Growth sometimes allows you to shrink. You have to shrink. You have to be quiet. You have to be still to reconnect and to hear that inner voice tell you what you need to be doing in that moment. I've had to do all of that to get to the point of peace of where I am right now. And I want to suggest it for someone else. That's important if you are trying to reach your best self or if you are trying to change. I want to encourage you to take this time now, this second month of the year, to recommit to the things that you know that you should be doing for yourself. So, and without beating yourself up, I think that we need to understand that when things happen that we didn't either prepare for or plan for, and things knocks us off of our square, don't beat yourself up about it. You just have to get back up and keep swinging, keep fighting, keep going um, to fight another day. Because at the end of the day, you're still here, you're still breathing, you're still really capable of doing all the things that you plan to do. And for many of us, you're still called. You're still called. So recommit. to those things. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about um, what 2026 really is going to be about this year. So, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you what 2026 is about and what recommitting to these things, what it means and what it looks like. 2026 looks like fewer explanations. Stop explaining yourself to people. Stop trying to get people to understand you. If they don't understand, if they don't get it, that's okay. But stop. Shut up. Stop telling them. Stop explaining. Have stronger boundaries this year. You're going to have stronger boundaries. You're going to carve out your boundaries for your space. And if anybody even tries to cross that line, you're cutting it off immediately. Smaller circles this year. You don't have to be everything to everybody. And you ain't got to be in the mix all the time with everybody. Smaller, intentional space with people that have been vetted, tried and true, and who you know to genuinely care about you. Consistency over chaos. Anything that does not bring you peace, that is consistently driving you crazy, has to go. It has to go. And when I say consistency over chaos, make sure that consistent thing is a good thing, not consistently chaotic. Consistently chaotic, that gotta go. But consistently stable, solid, straight, that's what you go with. And then faith over fear. We putting our faith into action this year. We are taking the time to make sure that it's a God thing. It's Godfidence. So make sure that you lock in with God so that your faith will kick in the moments where you want to give up. And you just know that this is all God. God sent you. God called you. God put you in this position to do these things. So this is the reason why we are putting faith over fear. And this year, it's action over announcements. You don't have to tell everybody every move that you make. You don't have to make an announcement. All you got to do is put the play in action and then watch them watch you. That's all you got to do. You don't have to do anything else. And you don't have to say anything. You don't have to tell them nothing. Baby, you just got to do it. And so 2026 is the year that you start asking yourself, does this thing bring me peace? Am I choosing comfort over growth? Is this aligned or is this just familiar? I think that once you start asking yourself these questions and you get clear about those answers, you will feel better about the decisions that you're making. So this year, we are recommitting to the things that are aligned with our purpose. We're not questioning it. We're not being afraid. We're standing on business, and we are forging forward with what is important to us. That's what 2026 is about. That's what Black History Month is about. Black and brown people, you got to get up and stand on business and stand for something. You got to be encouraged to take pride in who you are, believe in yourself in such a way that nobody is going to knock you off that square. And each day that someone tries, you come out swinging. Do you hear me? Let's be honest. Some days in 2026, we just not going to feel like it. We're going to feel unstoppable. And other days, we're going to feel like, who created this character development for me? I felt that in 2025. So I know it's probably coming in 2026. And I'm going to give myself grace during those times when I feel that way. And I encourage you to do the same. And both of those days are going to be relevant. Both of those days are going to apply to your lives and it's going to mean something. But we're going to make the necessary adjustments so that we can move forward. But what I want people to understand on this February day is that you don't have to have everything figured out at once. So for the people who love to be in control and who love to act as if they got it all together, just know there are days when you won't. That's what happened with me last year in 2025 when my brother got sick. It knocked me off my square. But then I had to get back centered. I had to come back to what I knew because God has me still here for a reason and for my purpose, for His purpose. And I got to keep forging forward because of that. And I want to encourage you guys to do the exact same thing. So, don't let anybody tell you that you're behind, that you're too late, or that you can't do something. Remember that you are right on time. You're exactly where you are supposed to be. And don't you change anything about your journey, about where you're going, or where you're headed. Comparison is the thief of all joy. Stop looking at your neighbor and your friends and thinking that they're doing these things and you're supposed to be there as well. You don't have to be on the same trajectory as that person. Over 10 years ago, I got a divorce, and that divorce, it changed everything. Because at the time of that divorce, I was starting a business. I had big plans for that business, and I was in the process of leaving my day job so that I could pursue that business, but I needed the other things to align in my marriage so that I could do that. And it didn't work out that way. And now, over 10 years later, guess what? Things are finally starting to align where I walked away from a job, I retired, and I'm doing the things that align with my purpose. It took 10 years because I didn't do I didn't put up with some things just to get here. I did the things that I needed to do to get here the right way. Now, there are some things in my life that I'm not especially proud of on my way, but I didn't do anything to compromise my integrity to get here. I just made a little stumbles along the way, but I got here. Matter of fact, I didn't just stumble. I stumbled, fall, tripped, and fell flat on my face. But I'm I'm in a better space now. I've learned to deal with some of the many challenges that life will throw at us. This journey has not been easy, but it has been worth it. God has been good to me, and I won't ever, ever downplay what He has done for me and how He's brought me from these places that I wasn't supposed to be in. So, what am I saying to you? I'm saying that it doesn't matter that you went through a divorce. It doesn't matter that you were fired or you quit a job. You had to start over. You had to move from a place that you didn't want to leave. That's most of the issues that we have most of the time. We don't want to move when God is clearly pushing us and getting us into another space. We don't want to do it because it's uncomfortable, but we got to because all of that is growth. So here's my challenge to you this year. And this is the part that I've been waiting for. I want you to pick your word for 2026. Yeah, that's your challenge. Pick one word for 2026. You ain't got to put no vision board. You ain't got to do all of this different stuff to manifest. All you got to do is stick with this one word and make sure every action that you take aligns with that word. Peace, boldness, discipline, healing, joy, consistency, or freedom. My word for this year is transformation. And I want you guys to watch me transform before your very eyes in 2026. And so whatever I do, everything must align with my transformation. And if it does not, then it has to go. It's just that simple. So for those of you who your word is peace, anything that doesn't bring you peace, it's got to go. If your word is joy, anything that doesn't bring you joy, doesn't make you passionate, doesn't make you giddy and excited, that thing has to go. And if your word is healing, anything that's stopping your healing or your growth in your process, it's got to go. And it's just that simple. These words are powerful. The word that you choose, there's power in that word. Put that word on an index card. Buy you some index cards. Index cards don't cost but $1 or so, a couple of dollars. And put that word on an index card. Put it on the mirror in your bathroom. Put it on your door as you walk out the door. Put it on the mirror in your car. When you pull down your visor, you see that word, it's going to be a reminder. Put it in your bedroom. Put it in your bathroom. That word needs to be all over your space as a reminder of who you are, where you're going, and what you are doing in your life. For me, I am transforming before your eyes. And my word will filter every decision that I make in this year. And I want to encourage you to allow your word to do the same. It's just that simple. It may not be easy either, but it will be worth it. 2026, it's not about proving anything to anyone. It's not about trying to show anybody anything. It is about becoming honest with yourself and you becoming the best version of yourself in this season of your life. So this year in 2026, we're choosing ourselves. And we're resting without apology. We're dreaming without limits. And we're moving. Even when we don't have all of the answers, we're moving. So I'm already proud of you. And I'm grateful that you are here with me and that you're watching this episode. If you watched it to the end, I'm so grateful. So welcome to 2026 and happy Black History Month to you. Let's do this intentionally and, more importantly, unapologetically. So that's the punchline. That's it.
My little safe haven of conversation, where we make space and ease our frustrations. Continuation for days and days, and I can just say it, no explanation needed. We just understand what we mean, if only through pictures and memes. Years together run deep in the glow of our screens. It's a party inside. Sometimes you need solutions and sometimes it's just a vibe. that there